There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who mile for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. He'd often say in his homely way, I'd sooner be living in hell. On Christmas Day we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of the cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd closed and our lashes froze, sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay down tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe. He turned to me and Cap said he, I'll cash in this trip I guess. And if I do, then I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he said with a terrible moan, that cursed cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled right through to the bone. Yet it ain't been dead, it's that awful dread of the icy grave that pains. I want you to swear that by foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, and I swore I would not fail. We started off at the streak of dawn. By God, he looked ghastly pale. He was crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day about his home in Tennessee. By nightfall a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in this land of death, and I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid, because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, may tax your brawn and brains, but your promise true, and it's up to you to cremate my last remains. A promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, how my lips were numb and my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long nights by the lone firelight, where the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, by God how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. On I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I often sang to that hated thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice and saw and looked twice, it was called the Alice May. I looked at it and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. And here said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some boards I tore from the cabin floor and lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was hanging around, and I built the fuel up higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you'd seldom see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal and I pushed in Sam McGee. Then I went for a hike, and I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. The heavens scowled and the huskies howled and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat roared on my cheeks, and I don't know why. And a greasy smoke in an inky cloak and streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I rested with grisly fear. The stars came out and danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'd just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooped, and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there was Sam sitting cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile you could see in a mile. He said, please close that door. I'm fine in here, but I greatly fear you let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who mile for gold.